Hey friends, we know it's that time of the year. It is the exam time. We understand all that you're going through, and to help you out, we have made many videos which speak about exam tips and what you should do to improve your score. You may find the links in the description. But in this session, we will tell you things you should not do before your exams. So during your board exams, you may have a gap of minimum 2 to 3 days between your papers. Sometimes it's just one day, or you may also have back-to-back exams. So you need to know what to not do during that time. So without wasting much time, let's start. The first thing not to do is, do not use social media. Yes, you heard me right. Try as much as possible to fight the urge of using your phone. It's an addiction which takes away most of your time. So what happens is, you start by saying hi, then your friend replies hi, then you start talking, forwarding jokes, laughing, then later you may even check your Facebook wall to see what your friends have posted. And then you also feel like posting. Later you would want to see how many likes you've got on that post. So the story never ends. Without realization, you lose so many hours with so much distraction and unnecessary thoughts in your head, which does not allow you to concentrate on studies. The second most important thing not to do is, do not ask the most common question friends ask each other during exam preparation. How much have you finished studying? Yes friends, we have all done this. Everyone has asked each other how much you finished studying. But I'll tell you why not to ask your friend this question. So let's assume your friend has finished studying 5 chapters and you have finished only 2. So that very moment, tension sets in and you start getting negative thoughts in your head about low grades, low marks, your admission, your future. Then you try rushing through all the chapters to reach your friend's pace, compromising on the quality of studies. And suppose that your friend has studied less than you. Then you get relaxed and slow down your preparation. So a very important point to know here is, do not compare your preparation with anyone else. Next, talking to your friend, you get to know which books they are referring to. And if it is different from the one you have used, then again you get tensed. You will go out of your way and buy that new book just before your exams. So this brings me to my third point. Do not change your book at the last minute. Do not try any new book. Your NCERT textbook or your respective state board textbook with any one reference book is sufficient. So stick to the book you have been using all throughout the year. Next thing not to do before your exam is procrastination. Never procrastinate. If you have 3 days preparation leave for your exam, then divide the hours according to the chapters equally and use the first 2 days well. If you keep postponing your studies, you will end up piling a lot to do for the last day, which will make you tensed. Next, do not get influenced by the method and the way or the timetable that your friend is using. You are unique. Use the strategy that suits your way of learning. Your friend may finish all the easy chapters first and keep the difficult ones for the last minute. But you may like to study the difficult ones first. So it's okay, whatever you've been doing all this year, just stick to that strategy and do not copy anyone's strategy. Next thing not to do is, try not to change your timetable at the last minute. If you have to study for 5 hours in the day, then you have to study. Get some determination to achieve that goal. If you want to know how to make a timetable for studying, we've made a video on it. You may find the link in the description. Next, if you have left any chapter for option, do not try to study it just a day before the exams. Stick to what you've already studied and spend more time in revising your content rather than studying things for the first time. Next thing not to do is, try not to just read illustrations or go through diagrams and flowcharts. What I mean is, illustrations, diagrams and flowcharts are very important. But after reading it or going through them, time yourself and write the answer based on it. It'll give you more confidence to attempt questions. This method is a very effective way for revision. Next, a simple thing students should not do just before exams is Do not eat outside food. It may make you sick at the wrong time. Eat home cooked food which is easy to digest. Also, eating heavy food will make you sleepy. So keep your meals light. Have a lot of vegetables and fruits. Also, make sure that you do not hurt yourself in any way. So try staying at home as much as possible and giving your time only to studies. And at last, all the videos keep saying get a sufficient amount of sleep just before your exams. But that does not mean that you sleep more. Avoid oversleeping as it may make you lethargic and lazy. A sound sleep for 6 hours is enough during exams. If you have trouble sleeping or you get nightmares and you wake up at odd hours in the night, then watch our relaxation video. It will definitely help you. So these were the 10 things that you should not do to improve your score. Lastly, remember, have confidence in what you've done. Exams do not judge your potential or do not judge how smart and intelligent you are. They're just a part of your life.
Now, the main question which arises in our mind is what we must study or revise on the day prior to our exam. It's not possible for us to complete the entire subject in one day. So what are the things that we must focus on? Let's see them subject-wise. First, talking about science. Read the chapter summary or the concept map given at the end of the chapter. Then read only those questions which you have marked important or difficult while studying. Don't spend time on reading the objective questions. Instead, read the long answers or brief answer questions, as the objective questions will automatically get covered. Go through important formulae and solve at least one problem from different numericals. And solve means you have to literally solve using a pen and paper. Practice diagrams along with their labeling. This includes even the re-diagrams of physics. Okay? Check all the important chemical equations. This can be done while revising the answers. After doing all this, if you still have time, then you can go through the frequently asked questions from previous year question papers. Alright? Now, moving on to the subject of math. Go through important concepts from all the different chapters. If you have prepared a separate sheet with all the formulae in it, then it is best to go through it once. Solve at least one question from each exercise. Again here, literally solve. Just run through all the theorems and proofs. Learn it logically that you remember all the steps during exams. If you have marked some important questions while studying, or like if there is any question which has some trick, then go through it once. Go through and practice the rules for construction if there are any. Now for languages, learn all the grammar rules. Go through some passages and formats of writing skills. For languages apart from the subject of English, knowing the chapter names, poems and author names is equally important. So remember all that. Now moving on to social sciences. Remembering the dates or the timeline is very important. Relate it to some events and try to remember them. Knowing the locations and map plotting is important, so learn all that. Read only the important questions. Again, focus on the long answer questions and not the objective questions, as it will automatically get covered. Focus on frequently asked questions from the previous year question papers.
Has this ever happened to you that you entered a room and forgot why you were there? Or you opened the refrigerator and forgot what you wanted from it? Or while studying, your mind thinks about random stuff like playing video games, calling your friends, thinking about what's for lunch or what are your family members doing, what time will you take a break, or any other random thought. This, my dear friends, is a sign of lack of concentration. Has anyone ever told you that you need to concentrate more during studying? Don't worry, you are not alone. So today, we are going to tell you some basic tips to increase your concentration. The first thing that can help in increasing your concentration is meditation. I know there are many people who keep saying meditation is the best thing and it increases your concentration level. It's high time you started meditating. Today I'm telling you that you just need to try meditation for 1 week. Concentrating on your breathing and keeping your mind focused to achieve that one-pointedness will definitely help you while studying. And if you don't know anything about meditation, you can watch our 10-minute video and learn from that. Next, do you know you get distracted easily because everything other than studying seems interesting and tempting to do? You want to watch TV, you want to play video games, you want to talk to your friends, and many more things. All these activities tempt you because you are restricting yourself. So the second most basic thing to do to increase your concentration is to allot sufficient amount of time to do things apart from studying. So sometimes while making your timetable, students just put studies in it. This is wrong. Give time for your hobbies and extracurricular activities. But stick to that timetable that you've made. Keep a check on how much time you're giving for other activities. Don't exceed that time. And during exams, try not to focus on other activities and also reduce your break time. Now let's talk about a few tips you can follow while you're studying. The first important thing is stay away from distractions. If you have a mobile phone, try keeping it away from your place of studying. If possible, keep it in the other room. The constant beeping of the phone or even just its presence will divert your mind, and remember that you've already allotted time for your distractions. So if possible, you can also switch off your mobile phone while studying. Next, write it down. As soon as you read one page, write down the important points from that page in a notebook. Doing this has many benefits. First obvious one is that you can concentrate better while writing rather than just reading the chapter with all sorts of thoughts in your head. This will help you fight laziness and keep you awake while studying. And if you continue this practice, you will have your own personalized set of notes at the end of every chapter. Next, read out loud. If you don't want to write important points, just read the chapter and all the answers loudly. This will actually take your attention to each and every word you're reading and help you remember all that you've read. Next, go slow. The average concentration span of any individual is very low. So remember, when you start studying, start with shorter durations like 25 minutes. Then you take a break for 5 minutes. And after the break, gradually increase your time to 35 minutes and later 45 minutes. Do not exceed your study time for more than 45 minutes. Make sure you take a 5 to 10 minute break after every 45 minute session. This will help you to stay focused. Next, use visual aids. If constant reading is not your thing, then you may take help of some educational videos. You may start by watching the videos and then read the chapter from your textbook. By doing this, you will relate everything you read with the visuals that you've already seen, thus increasing your concentration and focus. To help you out, we have a few concept-related videos. Do check them out on our channel. And last but not the least, stay motivated and determined. Don't let that fire in you die. Remember, when you are not studying, there is someone somewhere who is studying hard and utilizing every minute of their time. Let this motivate you enough to concentrate only on your studies.
English as a language is very important. Apart from it being a subject in our schools and colleges, it is the official language in many countries and is the most widely used spoken language. So if you focus on the subject right from your school days, it will greatly benefit you in your future. So without wasting any time, let's see some important points that are to be kept in mind while writing your English exams. Drawing margins are not of great importance when it comes to English paper, as we do not have to do any calculations or rough work. You may draw a very narrow margin on the right side. Please note, this is again optional. While writing, please keep your alignments proper. That is, start everything from the left and write everything one below the other very neatly. Write the question numbers correctly and start a new question on a new page. But you may continue the sub-questions one after the other. Leave a line after each answer. Write your answers considering the marks. That is, if it is a 1 or 2 mark question, please keep your answers short and precise. Don't write paragraph after paragraph. See the word limit and marks while writing the answers. In language paper, importance is given to neat presentation and handwriting. So keep a steady speed and a good handwriting throughout. Also, it is preferred to write the answers section-wise in the correct order, as it will be easier for the examiner to check your paper. But if you feel like attempting the second section first, you may leave the required space for the first section and start with the second one. Please be careful while doing that and don't mix up between sections. Okay, now let's see some section-wise tips. May it be any board or grade, English paper is majorly divided into 4 sections, as you can see here. Section 1, which is the reading section. When a passage or comprehension is given, students normally read the passage twice, thrice and waste a lot of time. Instead of doing that, read the questions first and try to register the keywords. Then you read the passage and check for that keywords, and there you find your answers. If there are questions to complete the statements, write the entire statement and underline the answer. For do as directed questions, write the question and its correct answer. If there is a personal response question, try to answer it in a positive way. Now coming to section 2, here again you have to do the same thing. First, take a quick glance at the questions and then carefully read the poem. Here, knowing the figure of speech, rhyming words and rhyme scheme is very important. There will be a sure shot question on these topics, so be thorough with that. Talking about section 3, one of the best ways of learning grammar and vocabulary is reading or speaking in English. One must also know the various rules for solving the do as directed part. If you find this section difficult, then I would suggest you to read and practice more and more questions. Vocabulary is the key to powerful writing. So learn new words, understand their meaning and their usage in speaking and writing. Section 4, Writing Skills. This is the section which most students find difficult as the topics are not known to them and they have to think and write. Again, a variety of questions can be asked and each answer has a fixed format. You can enhance and prepare yourself by reading the newspaper and other related articles for any current event. You may also refer some books for various topics of essays. Also, learn some quotes or few stanzas of poems by famous authors so that you may start your essay with that. It's a very nice way to impress your examiner. Think of some general scenario like various seasons, the thrill of the first rain, or your experience of a hot sunny day, any scenery, nature, or any uncertain event that you have faced, etc. as you can wisely fit them anywhere you want. You may even describe a person, a particular situation, or even show some conversation between two people to increase the length of your essay. Okay, now let's move forward and see some rules for various questions asked in the writing skills. First, talking about letter writing. In case of informal letters, we have to write the sender's address and the date on the right-hand corner. Please check the alignment. The next important thing is the salutation, which is basically written on the left-hand side. Then comes the main body. Write the letter in different paragraphs. Use simple and short statements and complete the letter in a logical flow. Like there has to be an introduction. The middle paragraph should convey why the letter is written, and at the end there should be a concluding paragraph. At the end comes the subscription part, where you politely end the letter, put a comma at the end and your name. If the name is not mentioned, you may write XYZ. Okay, now coming to formal letters. First, we write the sender's address at the top right corner of the page with the date at the end. Again, see the alignment. Then we write the receiver's address on the left-hand corner. Here please note, we write it as to, comma, on the next line, the secretary or the principal, the commissioner, and followed by their address. Next and very important thing is the subject, the reason why you're writing the letter. We write it this way. You may even underline it to give more emphasis. Then comes the salutation part, followed by the main body of the letter, which has to be short, clear and precise. There has to be a complimentary closing, like this, thanking you in anticipation, thank you for taking the time to read the letter, etc. Then at the end comes the subscription with the sender's name. Please note, never use apostrophe with yours in the subscription. Also note, if you're writing a letter for a job application, please don't forget to box your resume. Okay? Let's now see the format for notice writing. First, in the center of the page, you have to write the name of the school, institution or company. Then you write notice, all in capitals in the center. Then you mention the date in this format. Okay, followed by a title, which basically should be relevant and eye-catching. Then comes the main body, which should cover all the information like what, when, where, from whom, etc. Again, be very specific and precise. At the end, you have to write the name and the designation of the issuing authority. Normally, it is given in the question itself. Okay? Moving forward to the format of report writing. A report is a brief or complete note of a past event. You first give the heading, followed by the writer of the report. Both these to be written at the center. Then towards your left, you will write the place and date. Then comes the main body. Write in paragraphs. Be brief and to the point. If it is based on an event, then report it in the order in which things happened, and it should be written in past tense as it is a completed event. Okay, that's it for report writing. Now, the preferred format for dialogue writing is like this, where you're showing conversation between two people. Indent the paragraph for different speakers. As you're showing a direct dialogue, use all the punctuations correctly and involve a variety of statements in your conversation. Now, if a question is asked to expand an idea or write an essay, select those topics which you have some prior knowledge of so that you can write better about it and you don't waste a lot of time thinking. Like I said earlier, Start with a quote or a poem to create a good impression, and then you may continue the topic in different paragraphs. Okay? Again, please check the word limit and marks and write it accordingly. Moving to the next topic of story writing. If the start of the story is given, keep it that way and then frame a series of logical events and try ending it on a positive note. And if the end of the story is given, then depending on the conclusion, you have to develop a plot justifying that end. Here, giving a relevant title and writing the moral of the story is very important. Okay, don't forget that. So friends, these were a few formats for writing skills and some general tips to present your English paper. And the topic that we are addressing today is handwriting. It is a way or style of writing which is unique to individuals. Graphologists analyze a person's handwriting and give their personality traits. Many of us have a very neat and beautiful writing, whereas many others struggle to create a good handwriting. Handwriting has a very important role to play during exams, especially when it comes to a paper presentation. Even after writing the entire answer correctly, many of us lose marks in exams just because of a poor or illegible handwriting. Well, we don't fetch extra marks for good handwriting in exams, but it definitely reflects confidence and makes it easier for the examiner to check your paper. So friends, without wasting any time, let's quickly see some tips that will help you improve and create a better handwriting. Firstly, what actually matters is your sitting posture, especially your shoulders. It should be very relaxed. Don't droop down or be very stiff. Sit comfortably. And if you're a right-handed person, place the right corner of the book or the page high, or tilt the page towards your left. And if you're a left-handed person, place the left corner high or tilt the page towards the right. Next important thing is your grip or the way you hold your pen. Different individuals have a different style, so prefer the one which you are comfortable with and use a soft grip. Don't hold your pen too tightly, as it can lead to hand fatigue and pain. Next is the spacing of letters. While you're writing, keep the spacing between the letters and the words consistent. Now suppose you have a tendency to stick your letters too much, so you may try to space it out a bit. And if you write letters very far, try to reduce it. In short, just be consistent. Also, while writing, do not apply excess pressure that it creates an impression on the next page. Use a soft grip and normal pressure. Further, people use different slants for writing. Like some prefer left, right, or just writing it straight. Again here, keep it consistent. When we write something in a hurry, we tend to tangle letters. That is, when your ascenders and descenders aren't written properly. So try avoiding that. Also, while writing, stop joining letters. Write each letter very clearly. Again, to implement all these, you will have to practice writing daily. Initially, while practicing, try writing slowly and implement the required changes. And then when you get a hang of it, you can increase the speed. Another important thing which can indirectly influence your writing is the tool used for writing, that is your pen or a pencil. There are different pens available in the market with different nibs or tips like ballpoint pens, gel pens, ink pens, pilot pens, etc. And use the one which you are most comfortable with and the one which gives a smooth flow to your writing. And make sure that the ink doesn't smudge. For exams, we normally tend to buy new set of pens and write with it just on the day of the exam, and we don't get a smooth flow. So you may buy some extra pens and practice writing with it till it gives a smooth flow and a good speed. Well, that's it, my friends. We hope that these tips will help you in improving your writing and present your paper very neatly. If you liked our video, do give us a thumbs up, and for any doubts, you may post through comments